Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment. Today is Wednesday, July 5th, and the New York Yankees and Baltimore Orioles just played Game 3 of their 4-game set. The Yankees took Games 1 and 2 and were looking to take the series tonight. Would they get it done? My recap, your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. I wish we were in better spirits tonight. We were going for a series victory, but unfortunately did not get it done this evening. Limited highlights tonight. We got some stuff, but because the game was on Amazon Prime, I think, it wasn't being uploaded to our usual channels, so we got what we could. Game wasn't really worth rewatching anyway. Before we get to the recap, in case you missed it, Jimmy Cordero suspended for the rest of the season for a violation of Major League Baseball's domestic abuse policy. Obviously not a good story for anyone involved, and he is done for the year. So, I think Aaron Judge said it best. Everybody's a little pissed, but he's gone now, so you turn the page. Randy Vasquez was activated before the game. He was on the mound tonight. I thought he did a great job. I realize that he throws a lot of different pitches, but I really thought the changeup stood out. He was getting a lot of sink on that changeup, and it's not a pitch that he's thrown much in his first two starts. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little later on. He had a 22-pitch first inning and put two men on, but he worked out of it. So it showed a little bit of, guts, a little bit of gusto, a little bit of moxie. Top three, he got a little bit of help from Giancarlo. There was a fly ball to right field. The runner was stealing. Giancarlo caught it. Didn't have to move very far, but made an excellent throw to first base to nail the runner. Never been a question about his arm. He's got a cannon out there. Red light for sure. Volpe made a nice play at shortstop in the top of the fourth, had to go to a knee and field an absolute rocket. And then he made a strong throw to first base to get the runner. I don't think it's any coincidence that his defense has gotten a lot more reliable now that he's hitting more. Gleyber Torres seems to have the same issues. You struggle at the plate for a couple of weeks and you take it out into the field. Start getting distracted. I don't know if Volpe was that distracted, but he definitely took his problems into the field there for a bit. So glad that he's got everything back on the tracks on both sides of the baseball. Josh Donaldson got things started for the Yankees in the bottom of the fifth. Solo home run, opposite field shot. Should have been a clear sign that we were going to lose this game. Almost always lose when he hits home runs. A long delay in the fifth inning when the cameraman got hit by an errant throw, had to leave the field on a cart, but I think he's going to be okay. He was doing the metal. He might have been doing the shocker, but I think he was doing the metal on the way out on the cart. Crowd was chanting MVP, or were they saying MVP? Hope he feels better and makes a full recovery. Immediately following the delay, Kyle Higashioka smoked a base hit through the wide-open right side of the infield, brought Volpe in from second. That gave the Yankees a 2-0 lead, but unfortunately,
from there on out, things just got worse.
Randy Vasquez was done after 5 scoreless innings, 3 hits allowed, walked 3, and struck out 1. The changeup was phenomenal, and like I said, didn't throw a lot of changeups his first 2 starts. This is something we've noticed from pitchers under Matt Blake the last couple of years, is the changeups just get better and better. We saw it with Domingo Germán when he came to spring training a couple of years ago. We saw it from Garrett Cole last year. Corey Kluber was a guy who really improved his changeup. Severino's changeup has gotten a lot better over the years. Jonathan Loaizaga. A lot of these guys throw sick changeups. Tommy Kahnle, who already had a great changeup, seems to have even gotten better under the tutelage of Matt Blake. So that's definitely his specialty pitch. And he seems to have implored Vasquez to throw his a bit more. Changeup's a great pitch if you've got a good fastball and you can throw it for strikes. He threw 6 different types of pitches today. He had the Orioles constantly guessing, a lot of soft contact, and when people got on base, he seemed to dial up the focus a notch and pitch his way out of some jams. So very nice job from Randy Vasquez. But the Orioles ended up taking the lead in the 6th. Hernandez couldn't get anybody out. And then Mike King gave up a fly ball to left field. But since the Yankees don't have a left fielder, it went for a triple. Should have been caught. IKF made a nice catch in center field to take away an extra base hit from Aaron Hicks. Crowd loved that. In the 8th inning, Anthony Volpe took Yadier Cano the opposite way for his 12th home run of the season. First home run that Cano has allowed all season, according to the broadcast. He is no chump, so that is a nice piece of hitting by Anthony Volpe. A month ago, he would have had no chance because he would have been trying to pull off of that ball and trying to hit it out to left field. But, with the closed-off stance and just taking that ball to right field, here's one thing about hitting the ball to right field if you're a right-handed hitter. It allows you to wait an extra fraction of a second. Just that little extra fraction of a second to recognize the spin, to recognize the pitch. It's a great strategy, and it's what made Derek Jeter great all those years. It's what made Wade Boggs great. You just give yourself a little bit of extra time and swing just a little bit later. So what if you hit it to the other side of the field? You can hit home runs. You can hit extra base hits to the other side of the field. I think, when we're growing up, as hitters, we all want to launch home runs in batting practice. We all try and pull the ball. And when we really connect on one, typically it's to the pull field or to center field. But if you're a good hitter, a professional hitter, there's no reason you can't hit for power to the other side of the field like Volpe did tonight, especially in a ballpark like Yankee Stadium. That being said, I still want line drives to be his game. I still want him to do what you just saw Higgy do in the upper right-hand corner there. Use the whole field. And he's doing a lot better over the last 15 games since Chicken Parmgate. He's hitting .354, so really nice job by Volpe. Orioles got another 2 runs on a home run by O'Hearn in the 9th, and they hang on to win 6-3.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
So the Yankees remain 3 games behind the Orioles in the standings. We got a comment from Tommy C's Cat, who says, win tomorrow. 3 out of 4 isn't a sweep, but it is progress. At this point, you will take progress. You will take progress for sure. Look, we still got about half the season. Obviously we are at 79. We're past the halfway point, so 87 games, I believe. We've still got time to solidify a playoff spot. Now, we might have to end up playing in the wild card, but this team can still make the playoffs. We got Rodon coming back Friday. That is going to be an event to watch. And then we've got Judge coming back, hopefully after the All-Star break, from the comments we just heard. Essentially, he said that it's going to hurt forever, so just going to play through it. He's just going to get out on the field and play through it. Now, hopefully, with some medicine, I mean, you can make painful toes feel better, with painkillers, essentially. I mean, ask any football player how many times they've had broken fingers and, broken bones in their feet and getting their eyes gouged and all sorts of stuff. Hockey players, these guys manage pain. And Aaron Judge is just going to have to do that. Obviously you would love for him to be 100%, but it looks unlikely at this point. So we got to talk about the sponsor for tonight's postgame, Game Time. The Game Time app is the best app for last-minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed. You can see the view of the field or the arena, whatever you're doing, from your seat. It's got weather protection. It's got job loss protection. So if you lose your job, you can cancel your tickets. I logged on to look for some Yankee tickets, and they were like $1 or $2. And for seats that I would sit in and that I have sat in. So Hey, check out the Game Time app. Use the code NYY Recaps for $20 off your first purchase. Lowest price on last-minute tickets, guaranteed. As we look at this home run from Donaldson, that was a nice opposite field shot. Got to give him credit where credit's due. The power's there, but I think he's got like 13 hits or 12 hits, and 9 of them are home runs. Could that be right? Could that possibly be right? Yikes. Anyway, take a look at the box score here tonight. Actually, take a look at the standings first. Yankees 8 games back of the Tampa Bay Rays, 3 games back of the Baltimore Orioles, who are now 50 and 35. Yankees 48 and 39. I tell you what, the Rays have slowed down a little bit, and the Orioles have slowed down a little bit. Their offense has been kind of stagnant lately. If the Yankees can go on a run, get Judge back. If you have to DH him, you have to DH him. Get him back. Have a big second half of July, second half in general, big August. You can make a run, and you can make this thing tight. You can get tight. I don't know if they're going to win it, but they can make it very interesting. Rizzo, tough night tonight. Thought he just missed a home run. Hit one, probably just a little bit out in front too much. Maybe a little bit off the end of the bat. Ended up going 0 for 4 out of the leadoff spot. Leadoff spot has not been great lately. Between LeMahieu and Rizzo and Bauer slowing down a little bit. Torres 0 for 4 tonight. Had a good night last night. Hoping he would continue that momentum against the Orioles. Did not work out. Stanton 0 for 4. A couple of strikeouts. Again, I thought he had better swings tonight. I thought he actually looked okay. He did swing at a couple of bad pitches. But, he hit the ball hard at least once or twice. Did strike out a couple of times, but that's Stanton. Hopefully he'll run into some in the next couple of days and get going. Bowers, 0 for 4 tonight. He's really slowed down. He's hitting 224. 782 OPS, so you know that he does damage when he makes contact, but not much contact tonight. 2 for 3 from Donaldson. Not often you see him get a multi-hit game, hitting 149 on the season. LeMahieu 0 for 3. He's really fallen off down to 219. And I think it might be time to talk about DJ LeMahieu pretty soon and his future on this team. You might have to do what the Cardinals did with Wainwright, which is just give him that phantom IL trip. Hey, go take a month, let whatever's bothering you heal, and come back. Volpe 1 for 3 with a couple of runs scored tonight, hitting 223 now. OPS creeping up around 700. Higashioka 1 for 2 with an RBI tonight, hitting 229. Obviously, the pitching, not great. The bullpen had a tough night. Ramirez, 3 earned runs allowed. King even gave up an earned run in 2 2/3 innings. And Hamilton got hit hard tonight. So, tough night for the New York Yankees. Let's take a couple of your comments. William M. says, DJ is washed. I'm sorry. I tend to believe you. Look, you can only be injured so often and play through injuries for so long before it catches up with you. To me, he's just looking more and more like a broken down athlete. I think he's still signed for a couple of more years, too. The Yankees negotiated with him. I remember he ended up getting more years than he was asking for because the Yankees wanted to keep the AAV down. So they gave him a 6-year deal. And it might be just for this situation so that if they had to release him or something at some point or get somebody to trade for him, they wouldn't have to take that much money on. And this is not an instance where it's a guy who can't handle New York. It's not the same thing with Gallo or Hicks. He's a guy who's handled New York, who's been comfortable here. I think it's just father time catching up. I think it's just biology, bro. Nature. You can't get injured that many times and remain 100%. And whatever he's lost has turned him into a below-average player. Ethan says, I honestly want to see this team get younger and more athletic. I can't take Donaldson, Stanton, or DJ. Look, I think we're stuck with Stanton for a while. He signed for a long time and not cheap either. That might be one of those things where in 3 years you see him let go, but we're gonna have to deal with Stanton for a few years here. Once you get him going, maybe he can go on a run and carry you for a while. But those streaks have been fewer and farther between over the last couple of years. IMPRSV says, DJ looks like he's lost all his passion. I don't know. So I don't think it's one of those things where he's lost passion and therefore he's struggling. You know, the old ad hoc ergo propter hoc, after it, therefore because of it. He looks like he's lost his passion, but that's not why he's struggling. He's struggling and therefore he looks defeated. And he looks like he's lost his passion because he's struggling, because he's mentally in a place where he's never had to hit 219 before and strike out this often. Very, very tough. William says, God, this team worries me.
I hardly agree.
Tommy Higgs says, should we pick up Nelson Cruz? So Nelson Cruz looks to me like he's pretty much done too. He only had 5 home runs this season. He'd been struggling. My buddy is a Padres fan, and he essentially said that Nelson wasn't the same. If I were the Yankees, I would reach out to Nelson Cruz and say, hey, look, we've got a DH here in Giancarlo Stanton who we want to turn into the next Nelson Cruz. I want you to come and take him under your wing. Teach him how to be a DH, you know? Teach him that he should be walking around the dugout and always holding a bat. Always ready to hit. Teach him how to eat cheeseburgers and get to be just a big softy with the bat speed. Because that's what Nelson Cruz has done. He became just like a big kind of... He's just a large man, but he's not ripped like Giancarlo. You know, maybe get on the Nelson Cruz diet and just become a slugger, baby. And then we don't have to worry about you running ever or pulling a hammy or whatnot. Tommy C says, DJ broken down early. Happened to Sandy Koufax? It happens. Koufax had a torn elbow ligament at a time when you couldn't get Tommy John. Ariadna says, Bader should have played today. You know, this is a big series. I don't get why they give guys days off during a big series like this. You know, this is not one of those days where you rest guys. You rest guys against the Royals. You know? You rest guys against the Pirates. The Red Sox, maybe. No, but honestly, against the Orioles, a team that's ahead of you in the standings, you should never rest anybody. If they're able to play, they should play. Wayne J says the Rays lost, so at least we didn't lose any ground against them. Silver linings, people. Tabor bringing up that Bader may be a little bit banged up. He did get hit by a pitch yesterday. That is worth noting. He got hit on the hand. I totally forgot about that. So, nice job reminding us.
What?
All right, guys, we're going to end it up a little bit early tonight because, honestly, not a lot more to talk about.
Game over, man. Game
Get a couple of more comments.
I gotta get out of here.
William M. says, thank God I still have the Yankees of the 90s and early 2000s. Memories. That's a great thing about memories.
You gotta go.
You always have them.
Most impressive.
So we finish up the series tomorrow. Luis Severino on the mound. He's got a 6.30 ERA on the season, so has not been great. And then Friday against the Cubs, Carlos Rodon on the mound. That's what we've all been waiting for. I'll be helping with the color commentary over on Pete's channel, and then we'll be back to recap it after the game. So we will catch you then. Thanks for watching. Again, use Game Day and support the channel with a like and a subscribe, and visit the store, NYYRecaps.shop, to check out what kind of merch you can wear. We got all sorts of Aaron Judge merch for when he comes back, and by the time he's back, should be ready to arrive at your door. So I'll see you next time. Take care.
Ball game over.
Most
most impressive.